Okay, so what do you got for ideas? Because we got to come up with something to put out on YouTube.
Why do I have to come up with the ideas? You're the creative one.
Why? But I'm stumped today. Like I maybe.
Well, we need to change the filters in the clear source. Maybe we could do the clear source.
We do the clear source. That's a good product. Love that.
And you definitely need to put some air in the pin box.
That's right, the Lippert Air Ride pin box. That's your favorite.
I know, I love it.
I don't know. Those are great ideas, but I just don't feel like that hits the sweet spot. You know, being a creator on YouTube and social media, it's a lot of work. Like you got to plan these videos.
It is. I know.
You got to keep the content going, or the algorithm gets all jacked up. You know what I mean? It's such a tough world. So, I don't know. Hit me with one really good idea.
Okay, I know. Since we've been in our RV now for over a year, why don't we give an updated tour on our RV?
I like it.
We've been working out some of the bugs.
An updated tour.
I know. We've done a little decorating. We've figured out where we like to put things, how to use things. Why don't we do that?
Because we have loved our Riverstone fifth wheel, although it has not been perfect.
No.
We still love it. Like, I don't know, can you put perfect and RV in the same sentence?
I know. I think we could probably count the number of times it's been to Camping World on at least one hand, maybe two.
Like when you're home, have a home on wheels, you're always going to have problems.
Yeah.
That's what we say. Although, we haven't had a ton of
No.
really big disastrous problems. So we'll keep our fingers
We
crossed.
love our camper. It's been an awesome just way to get out of town and to enjoy life. We work in a different state, so we get to take it with us. So it's been, and we had to live in it for 3 months when we were having our house worked on.
Yep. So it's been I think it's a great idea. Let's do it.
All right.
Tour. Here we go. Let me grab the camera.
Hey everyone, come on in. We'll give you the tour. Hey everyone, so welcome to our kitchen. If you didn't know it, you are inside of a Riverstone Legacy 39 FKTH. And the FK stands for front kitchen and the TH is toy hauler. And I would say that the front kitchen is probably my favorite feature in this particular RV, and those two things are the reason we chose this particular model. But the front kitchen is awesome. We've got 2 slide outs and there's tons of cabinet space, counter space. It actually feels a lot like a residential kitchen, and we actually do get a lot of comments from people when we do tours. People will say, that's bigger than the kitchen in my house. So I'm a kitchen gadget girl. I love having just the convenience of things from home with us on the road, and this particular kitchen definitely affords us the opportunity to do that. So I'll show you some of the things we've added throughout the year, some of our favorite appliances, how we store things in this kitchen, things we've added that have just made life a little more convenient. But I'll start here. This is our eating bar, and as you can see, it only seats 2 people. We don't have the traditional RV table. So this particular RV model, I would definitely say, is more geared towards retirees or empty nesters like us. Doesn't really have a lot of kid space, but we love this space because it serves a dual purpose. We can eat here or work here. There's charging ports over here, an electrical outlet, and so it definitely serves well as a desk as well as an eating space. Our windows, the windows in this particular model, I love it because they are a little bit higher end in the sense that they're all wood wrapped. We've actually got window seals, and the windows themselves are double paned. The walls on the Riverstone Legacy are 3 1/4 inch thick. So this is definitely a 4-season RV. In the summertime, it keeps that heat out and keeps the inside cool, as well as in the winter, it keeps the heat in and the cool out. So we love it and we use it all year round. All right, so if you want to come on up, I'll start with our kitchen island. Islands are always great because they definitely add a lot of space and they just look great. And it definitely feels, again, like you're in a residential space. But our island serves a dual purpose. As you can see, we've got the countertop here, but we've also got a sink. And I love the way that the RV manufacturers have come up with this sink cover so that it allows you to have the counter space when you need it. And we actually have a really large sink, the double sink here, which we typically keep the larger size closed because we don't necessarily need to use it. And that way we always have the additional counter space. If you come on around, this is one of my favorite features. And part of the reason we're able to keep the sink closed off is because we have a dishwasher. Now it is a fairly small dishwasher, and I would say we probably run it once a day or at least once every other day, because it doesn't, you know, it fills up really fast, and obviously some of those big things are going to need to be hand washed. But I love having it. Here we've got just a little pull-out. Doesn't have a lot of space, but it's nice because you can put your rubber gloves in there, you can put your sponges and keep those things off the countertop. And then we've got a small cupboard over here, which we probably need to organize a little better, but we keep a lot of our cleaning supplies tucked away in here. All right, so on this wall, you can see we've got our oven and our cooktop, and we've added a lot of appliances, one being our air fryer, which this particular air fryer, we actually had a different model in here, and we learned from one of our RV friends that this particular model actually folds up and you're able to tuck it back so that you can have the additional counter space when you want to cook on your cooktop. But this is the Ninja, and we love it. Over here we've got our pull-out garbage, which everything has kind of that soft close. It's great. We're able to tuck it away. We don't have to see it. And then we've got a small little shelf over here where we can tuck the sink covers in and other miscellaneous items. But the one thing about this cupboard you could do, because this kitchen is so large, you could have one of those nice standalone stainless steel garbage cans and actually convert this into storage space if you wanted to. So on this side of the counter, we've got our Berkey, which is a water filtration system if you're not familiar with it. We actually use this in our home as well as our RV, and I love it because it filters out just the bacteria and all those things that you don't want in your drinking water. And when you're camping, you never know what kind of water you're getting in the different campgrounds. So we love it, and the filters actually last for several years. So we feel like this is a great investment. Behind it here we've got a small dehumidifier, which we actually keep this going 24/7, and it is really good about pulling the humidity, the water out of the air. I don't know what brand it is offhand, but we can put that in there, but it definitely works and we use it all the time. All right, under here we've got some really great deep cupboard space. We're missing a few things. I typically keep a blender in there and some other items, but as you can see, we use the Rubbermaid shelf liner, which helps keep things in place from moving around when we're traveling on the road. All right, back here, whoa, we've got our coffee bar, and this is definitely one of those things that we have decided to bring with us when we travel. It's our Breville Espresso machine, and love the fact that we've got this nice little coffee bar space where we can bring it and all of our syrups with us when we travel. Up here we keep a lot of our dry goods, just some of the things that we use day to day, and we've chosen to buy these plastic containers just to keep everything in its place. We like them because they stay pretty secure and they don't move around. I know a lot of RVers like some of those more soft containers because they're a little bit more flexible, but these work well for us. One of the things that Riverstone has done, and I love, is the fact that they've got pullouts. So yay, you can actually see everything that you put in your shelves. Ours are kind of empty since we haven't been on the road, but we've got our Instant Pot, our toaster oven, we've got our bowls, and I love these bowls because they stack up great and they're super easy to store away in small spaces. Okay, our refrigerator, yes. This is a Samsung. We love it. I know we hear a lot of people that have had not so good luck with it, but this particular refrigerator has been good to us. Got lots of space. We love having the residential refrigerator with us on the road. We do utilize these plastic bins to store things in when we're traveling. And the freezer has an ice maker, which we love that as well. All right, back here. And this is our second coffee bar. We have just one of those small Keurig coffee makers, which is great. We also have an instant hot water pot, which I love this. I love to drink hot tea, but I know a lot of RVers actually like to use that instant hot water pot to wash their dishes with. And then down below here, again, we've got more pullouts, more storage space, lots of room. Up here we keep all of our dishes. And one of the things that I like to do is I'll actually, when we get to a campsite where we're going to be for a while, I'll take all of the cups, the coffee cups and all of our cups out of these containers so that they're a lot easier to access. But for on the road, this works great because then they're all secure. So this is our second slide out, and this particular space has a ton of storage. As you can see, we've got lots of drawers and another cabinet, tons of counter space, which we actually don't utilize this counter space all that much. We keep a bowl of fruit or whatever it is over here, and we've got it decorated under the microwave. But the drawers are pretty spacious, and I love the fact that Riverstone has done a great job to put dividers in, which is really helpful. It's separating out your silverware and all of those fun little kitchen gadgets. Some of the things that we've learned to take as conveniences are these great, there's 4 of them, it's a set of 4, but they're these silicone storage containers that pop out and just pop right back in, and you just tuck them away in your drawers. As you can see, you don't have to have a whole lot of storage space. Down here, one of the items that I discovered on Amazon, which is awesome, this is a cutting board, but on the other side, it actually, this piece here pops out and it becomes a mandolin, so lots of shredding, great for salads. There's a chopping knife as well as a paring knife, and then your cutting board. And then down below is this really nice size colander for pastas, salad, however you want to use it, but I love the fact that it just so easily tucks away in a drawer. And then over here, we've got our final cupboard, which this is actually the biggest of all of our cupboards. You can see big slide outs. This is a lot of our paperwork and just kind of like our junk drawer, but definitely can be used for food. We use the bottom one for food storage when we're on the road. Looks like we need to clean it out, but great space. And then finally, we've got a microwave convection oven, which is residential size. It's really large, so you can cook a lot of big things in here, and gives us absolutely no excuse to not cook while we're on the road. All right, come on down here and I'll give you a tour of our command center. In here, this is the brains of everything that runs the show here in our RV. There's a little bit of storage space above, and then down here we've got a small coat closet. So now we're in our RV living room, and as you can tell, we've added a few things to the space to make it a little bit more homey. First off is the carpet, and then the bench, the storage bench, which we purchased on Amazon. But both of these things just add some color to the space and definitely warm it up. We've got 2 additional slide outs here in the RV living room, which definitely add a lot of space to the room. We've got 2 sofas that are actually fold out beds in either of the slides, as well as an entertainment sofa on the back end. And then here is our entertainment wall. And we've got the 65-inch big screen TV. There's a Bose soundbar here. And then I love the fact that they give us space to just tuck those cords away. The Apple TV and all of our remotes are hidden right in there. And then, believe it or not, there's an AM/FM radio with a CD and DVD player as well. And then finally, our fireplace, which can either be used just as lighting to bring a little atmosphere to the room, or it's also an electric heater. Now this living room is sunken. There's 3 steps up to the front kitchen, as well as 3 steps up to the bedroom and the bathroom. So for people who don't like a lot of stairs, this RV has a few of them. But they've definitely utilized the space well. In each of the staircases, they've added a drawer, which is great because you have additional storage space if you want it. And then the stairways are lighted as well. So the pull-out sofas, I think I said, were each of these pull out 2 beds. I know one of the things that a lot of RVers are doing now is they're actually taking out the traditional RV furniture and putting in more residential furniture. And I know for us, that's something we definitely like to do with one of our slides. Since you can't open both beds at the same time, it doesn't make sense to have 2 fold-out beds. But come on around. And again, all of our windows, as you can see, are all wood wrapped, and all of our windows are double paned as well, which again is really nice for keeping the cool in the summer and keeping the cold out in the winter. We've also got the sunshade as well as the blackout shade, keeping our neighbors from peering in at us at nighttime. Over on this end, we've got the entertainment sofa, which of course is a recliner, and it's also has a massage feature as well as being heated, which is really nice. And the cup holders over here, there's actually a charging port on both of the sofa arms, which is really nice. And they've got some disco lights and they've lighted it up below as well. And then finally, we've got a ceiling fan up there, which is great for just moving around air, and then just adds an additional light to the room. So come on back and I'll give you a tour of the bedroom. So as you can see, it's definitely not the biggest bedroom, but it is our bedroom and we love it. We've got a queen size bed, and the platform of the bed is actually the ceiling of our toy hauler garage. So when we have our golf cart in the garage, the bed actually rises up. You can see back here we've got a great padded headboard, and then behind the bed there's a big shelf. So, and it's nice because you've got outlets on either side of the bed. You've got charging ports. There's actually a light switch back here, which is really nice at night to be able to just turn this light on when you're headed to bed. But we've got tons of cabinetry, as you can see, in storage space. And I love the fact that the doors are on them. I'm seeing a lot of people actually take the doors off and put baskets, which is a nice look. But for us, I actually like the doors at this point. Lots of space, as you can see, blankets, extra pillows, our electronic equipment. On this side, we've got anything from toilet paper and sheets to towels, bedding, you name it. On the other side, we actually store clothes as well as just any miscellaneous items. So on this end of our bedroom, it's great because we've got a dresser, 2 giant drawers and 2 smaller drawers, as well as another fireplace and heater. And then we've got the flat panel TV as well. And another one of my very favorite features about this RV is we've got the stackable washer dryer. This is a slide out right here, and this is our closet. And this particular RV does not have a central vac, so what we do have is a Dyson stick vac, which is great. Our closet's empty right now, but one of the things that I do use just to help with humidity is these dry rid bags. And one of the things that I've learned, and I think I've heard other people say, is the only thing is they leak. And so what I do is I take a Ziploc bag and I tape it to the outside, and that seems to capture any of that additional water that drips from the dry rid bag. But I'm definitely looking for another solution, but that seems to be working really good for us right now. So you are now in the bathroom of our RV. Welcome to this very small, intimate space. We'll start here on the wall with the sink. We've got this large mirror with that's backlit, which definitely is helpful to have the additional light, plus the mirror makes the room feel a little bit bigger than it actually is. Underneath the mirror, they've put real tile backsplash, which is a very nice feature. We've got Corian countertops and brushed stainless steel faucet. And then there's a fairly good sized cabinet here under the sink. One of the things that we need to do is add a shelf to maximize the space. Over here you'll see 3 drawers. And one of my travel tips that I will share with you is I've got these 2 plastic baskets, and what I like to do is take them into the house, fill them with all of my toiletries, and then bring them back out to the RV, put them there, and when we're home, then I just take them back into my bathroom and toss the plastic containers into the dishwasher for the next trip. So if you want to come around the corner, this is our medicine cabinet, which actually is pretty good size. Right now we've just got our first aid kit and a few miscellaneous items, but we definitely fill this up when we're on the road. And then of course below it is our toilet, which is porcelain, and it's got a toilet seat that's like a residential toilet seat as well, but obviously it is your RV toilet with that foot flush. Behind me is our shower, which is a decent sized shower. We've got the skylight above, so for those tall people it definitely adds a few inches. We've added the King Max shower caddy, which I have to say is key. It keeps all of my hair care products, our shower tools, everything in here so that we can keep this bench free of anything. And then we've added here a couple extra hooks to hang towels. And then if you want to see, we've got, I love our shower head actually moves up and down, and then it's removable as well. And my favorite feature, not only in the bathroom, but for the whole RV, is we have the AquaGo tankless water heater system, so that we always have hot water on hand, which makes it nice. So I love to take long showers, so does Michael, so we're able to do that as well as anything else, and we don't have to worry about running out of hot water.
Hey, so I hope you guys enjoyed that tour, and hey, while you guys were getting the tour, guess what happened? Christmas. The Christmas elves came and set up Christmas behind us.
Yeah, the Christmas Kris. That's, that's another thing too we love about the camping lifestyle. It doesn't mean that you leave those seasonal times and those fun, those fun things like Christmas or other holidays behind. When you sell your sticks and bricks, you can take those with you on the road as well, and it helps us because we do have both, so we have a place to store it, so for some it might not be, as convenient, but we love decorating and being festive, and so it was fun, to include that with our RV as well.
Yeah, and you do a good job. High five.
Thanks, babe.
It turned out awesome. So I told Kris, I said, I think a good way to end this video with the tours is to share, in the year that we've had it, what have been some things that have gone wrong. Because like I said at the beginning of this video, I don't think you can put the word perfect and RV together in the same sentence, because whether you spend $200,000 or $2,000, they all bounce up and down the highway, shifting and just, you name it. So there's always something that can go wrong. Even though I would say for us with our Riverstone, we've been pretty lucky, blessed, that way, because we've gone to how many states in Canada?
So we've gone to, we've stayed in 8 different states. We've traveled probably close to 10,000 miles or more. We've gone through 2 trucks. We're on our 2nd truck now. And when we first brought it home, we actually lived in it full time for around 3 months while we were having some work done on our home.
Yeah, so we have definitely, in our first year, put some wear and tear on this for sure. So let's talk about the things that have gone wrong with the Riverstone. So unfortunately, one of our favorite areas of this floor plan, which is our front kitchen, which we love, that's where we've had some of our issues. So we've had an issue with the right slide even last year at about this time, because it wouldn't come in, and we had to have a technician come and override it, run it in.
And we were at a campground at the time.
Yes, so it just made for an interesting trip.
Yeah.
That trip. We called it the good, the bad, the ugly.
Right. We ended up, thankfully, you know, our kitchen is sizable enough that we ended up pretty much living the most of that trip with the one slide in the entire time. But thankfully, we could reach our microwave, and you know, we got some of the things out of the drawers and cupboards that we knew we would need before they pulled it in.
Yeah, and long story short, you know, we brought that back. We took it over to have it looked at, and they said, we can't find anything wrong with it.
Of course, you know how that works.
So we're like, oh, okay, so maybe the Christmas magic worked. And it worked from then on all the way to the summer. Towards the end of the summer, we ended up having issues with it coming. It started hesitating, and we had met a fellow Riverstoner at one of our destinations, and he was like, we're having issues with that slide out too.
The same exact slide, that front right kitchen slide.
So we thought, well, that's interesting. So long story short on that, we ended up having a slide out motor go out in that slide, which was covered under warranty. Thank the Lord. So we got that fixed. And then the other slide out on the other side of the kitchen had a weird kind of nothing with it going in and out or any of that kind of stuff. But the undercoating underneath called?
I think it's polyethylene. I think
What she
that's
said.
what it is. Yes, it's that black waterproofing material that they put under the slides.
Yeah, for some reason, either we had a bubble in it, I'm not sure what happened, but we had about a 50-cent piece that just exposed to the plywood.
A tear, yeah, a tear.
And so we were like, okay, guys, you know, what can we do about this? And they called Forest River and talked to them, and Forest River said that they wouldn't cover anything with that because it's a wear and tear item, because the slide goes in and out and that stuff. And the dealership gave us...
But you still think it would last longer than a year. But anyway.
Yeah, the dealership ended up giving us some of that tape substance, whatever that is, and we tried that. Every time the slide would go in and out, it just shredded it every time. So I said, we needed more of a permanent solution. So we ended up getting, we had to pay for some skid plates for that slide out. Now, I really like that idea because now the whole thing slides on those two skid plates and doesn't even touch the bottom of the slide anymore. So I kind of like that, but it came at a cost. What was the cost?
Well, it was over $500. Yeah, and actually when we were speaking to Riverstone and telling them about our situation, they actually recommended, you know, if you can, do it on all of your slides. But the fact that we have 5 slides, you know, at $500 a pop, that would have been yeah, a pretty hefty little price. So we decided just to go with the one for now, but it definitely makes a difference. So it
definitely does.
Long-term solution.
Who knows? Maybe we'll put it on the other slide, the other kitchen slide, at some point. But right now everything's working fine, so that's good. Okay, so that covers that's the major thing up front. So in the rear of the coach, our bed goes up and down, as you saw earlier in the video. It's our toy box area where we put our golf cart. So whenever we would run the bed up, the headboard goes behind the cabinets, and it would clip on the cabinet every time. Well, after a little bit of time, it put a dent in the headboard.
It actually started chipping away at the wood.
Yeah, so we took that in, and Forest River was great about that. They ended up fixing it, sending us a new piece of wood for the headboard. And what that was is the track was a little too far forward. It just needed to go back just a little bit and be adjusted. Quick fix.
Yeah, and you know, it's interesting because I guess that would also be considered a slide. So in addition to the 5 slides that we have that go out that way, we have the one that goes up and down. So our primary issues definitely were slide related. And it is interesting because we're hearing some campers that are downsizing just so that they have less things to worry about, and one of the reasons is slides. But we really like the space. We're glad we got the camper that we have, and we utilize all of it.
I have to try to keep Kris. She keeps on talking about an Airstream. I'm like, no, we're not going. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, maybe someday. I don't know. No.
Now, we like the slides, and yeah, they're a maintenance thing. It's a thing that goes in and out. It does add something. I get why people, you know, if they want to try to stay away from slides. But boy, what the slides do to your space, I don't know. It's pretty nice. you know, what they do.
I mean, the downside to having an RV of this size is you definitely, you know, you reduce the number of campgrounds that you can go to because we can't fit in a lot of the state campgrounds. So, you know, we've got the space, which is great, but we end up having to stay in more resort-like campgrounds, which we don't mind. And, you know, we travel for work monthly, and, you know, that's what's available to us that's close to our campus where we're working. But that does reduce, again, the number of places that we're able to haul our camper and to actually to camp. So
yeah,
it's a trade-off.
It's a trade-off, that is for sure. Other than that, we've had some self-inflicted wounds over the year, one of which, it's a stinky subject. It stunk that it happened.
It was my fault. I take ownership.
I don't know if any of you have had a toilet paper dam or a teepee dam, they call it, that happened with your black water tank, but we experienced that. Thankfully, we were able, you know, the tank got about half full when we were done camping, so we pulled it home and were able to get the sloshing around, I think, took care of it.
Yeah, it loosened itself up. So, yeah, problem solved. And I think one of the other self-inflicted wounds is one of the things that we learned early on, and you have to be very careful, is we have, what are they, Lippert? The stairs that go out?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got these fold-out stairs that come out of our front door. And when you're leveling, I mean, you have to make sure they are perfectly level, because we shut the door and one of the first times we you know, after we brought it home a little too hard, not realizing, we thought it was level, but it wasn't, and it literally bent the bottom of our door, which just made us realize how fragile the skin is on an RV. It's definitely different than, you know, your sticks and bricks home, so you have to be, you know, making sure that you're watching out for those things. So, yep, definitely lesson learned on that. Yep. Close the door very lightly the first time you do it to make sure.
Well, you guys know you have those self-adjusting legs down at the bottom, and they were, I mean, it was a hair. It was a hair. But close enough that when I went to close it, it caught that. And I don't know why Kris does that. I try to help her, but no, I'm just kidding.
And the screws.
And the screws. So we've heard of other Riverstoners complaining that when they bounce down the highway, some of the screws on the outside come loose. We have experienced that too. Our summer trip, we ended up carrying a screwdriver with us in the truck. So each stop that we would stop at, whether it was gas or a rest area, we'd just make sure
everything was tight, and there were always loose screws. So that's definitely, that will be an ongoing battle, we can tell. So, yeah.
But other than that, we haven't had any problems, though. No. So we love it. We love our Riverstone. And you know what? Forest River has been great to us when we've had to call them. With things we have nothing to complain about.
No, and they even sent us shirts and hats.
Got this hat. Yeah. They sent us some swag. Thank you, Forest River. We really appreciate that. So I think we should wrap this all up by saying it's been an amazing year. We want to thank... What?
Yeah. Oh, I think I already said it. We traveled, 8 states, over 10,000 miles, and we lived in it for 3 months.
Yep, and it's been awesome. So we want to thank all of you who subscribe to our channel. We want to thank all of our Instagram followers, all our Facebookers, all our TikTokers. Everybody, thank you so much for following along with us on our journey and all of our experiences. And it's Christmas time, so enjoy this time of year with your family and with your friends. And just be thankful. You know, there's a saying that if you've got family and friends and your loved ones with you, I'd say you got enough. And you know what? That's so true. So we want to say, from our family to yours, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, God bless,
and safe travels.